Alright, this video was from Chapter 4, Lesson 10. A little bit different than what we've been doing as of lately with all the equations and stuff like that with algebra. So I thought I'd make a quick video for you, just to keep you updated what we're doing. We have, today we learned about factor pairs, multiples, prime and composite numbers. So 3 major topics, and the standard that we were talking about today really had 3 different parts to it. So got a lot to remember and a lot introduced in one day. So here's a video that could hopefully help your kids at home to remember these things. So factor pairs are when the factor pairs are the two numbers that you can multiply together to get a product. So for example here that I did was 16, and 16 has 3 factor pairs. 1 and 16 is a factor pair. 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Those are the factor pairs of 16. So once again, just the factor pairs are, that is a factor pair, this is a factor pair, and this is a factor pair. Multiples are the product of your given number. So you're going to be given a number, and then it's the product of that number, that number and any other number out there. So for example, if I want to find the multiples of 4, basically it's your math facts. Okay, it's just list out your math facts, and the kids have to know if, is this number a multiple of 4? So 4s, of course, would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, so on and so forth, forever and ever and ever. Those, the green line here, is the multiples of 4. Those are the multiples of 4. Hopefully that makes sense. Prime numbers is when you have a number, and the only possible way to make that number is when you only have one factor pair, and that would be a factor pair of 1 in itself. And we talked today in class that no matter how big or small the number is, you can always have one factor pair because of the identity property. 1 times itself is always going to equal any number out there. So we talked like 5,015. Well, at least have one factor pair of 5,015 times 1. So 1 in itself. And that's the only factor pair that it's going to have. So for example, 3. The only way you can make a 3 is 1 times 3. 13, same thing. 5, 17, all of these numbers, that's the only way you can make them. Composite numbers are the direct opposite. It's every other number out there, and every other number out there that's not prime has to be composite. So a number is composite if it has more than one factor pair. It could have 2 or more. So 4, for example, is composite because it has a factor pair of 1 and 4, and it also has a composite number, it has a factor pair of 1 and 4 and a factor pair of 2 and 2. So therefore, 4 is a composite number. So what I was talking with the kids a lot today too was that you have to know your math facts, plain and simple. That's all there is to it, because a lot of times what they're going to ask you is, for example, is 55 a multiple of 3? And you have to be able to have a strategy or have an example of how to do that. So basically, if you do your 3's, will that eventually go into 55? And some kids are really good at the math facts and can tell me right away, and other times we just might have to do a quick division problem and find out. If 3 does not go into 55 perfectly, it is not a multiple. So if I just do a quick scratch division problem here, then 3, of course, will go into 5 one time, and we'll end up with 25 left. And of course, 3 will not go into 25 because of the math facts. It will go into 27, or it would go into 24, but it would not go into 25. So this would not work. So therefore, 55 is not a multiple of 3. All right, well, I hope that helps, and good luck.